to another edition of Wings Weekly with JK and Coach A. And a split this weekend, Coach. A lot to talk about there. A good game Friday night. I know, pregame you had talked about, a simple game and kind of just making sure you do the fundamental things and do them well. It really seemed like you guys were able to do that on Friday night. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, we wanted to play fast, we wanted to play hard, and we wanted to play simple. We wanted to try to create emotion and energy in the building. I think we did a good job of that, and the crowd did a really good job reciprocating and giving us a lot of jam and a lot of juice on the bench. I thought the game on Friday had a little bit of everything. A fight, lots of hits, some good plays with the puck, some good shots on the goal. Obviously, we're disappointed with the goal we gave up under 4 minutes left, but we found a way to get some chances in the 3-on-3 overtime. Peter Thome was terrific for us in the 3-on-3 after coming in, having to play relief for Gavin Piscosa after the first period. And then, like in the shootout, lots of goals. So a lot of entertaining stuff went on Friday. I was proud of us for finding a way and not letting the home crowd down. I think we entertained and gave a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's like I said on the broadcast on Saturday night. Boy, people definitely got their money's worth because, again, going on a regulation, then the overtime, and of course the shootout down to the very last skater when Tucker DeYoung ended up bringing home the W. So a very entertaining game to say the least. And you mentioned Peter Thome coming in relief of Gavin Piscosa, and you had mentioned, when I talked to you Saturday, and I think it sounds like Gavin's going to be okay, and it was more of a precautionary kind of thing. Are there any updates in regard to his health? Because we know he's had some trouble in the past with his hips and so on. So,
yeah, lower body aggravation, just had a little bit of pain. Had a little bit of a scare, was back to work on Monday, doing great this week in practice.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Great guy, and certainly wish him the very best as the rest of the season goes along. Saturday's game had a different feel to it to me. It had a little faster pace, it felt like, a little bit. Some great hits. I'll give it, that for sure. I had some goals scored, some exciting moments in it as well, but maybe a little more loosely played. Is that an accurate way to describe it?
It was a little more reckless. I thought that the puck decisions at times were a little suspect both ways, but when you're playing fast and you're playing with emotion and energy, it's hard to be perfectly polished. Sometimes when you're too polished, the game slows down, and that's no fun either. But I thought on Saturday night we had good stretches in the first period. I thought they were a little bit better than us overall in the second, and then I thought we owned the final 15 minutes of the game and probably deserved a better fate. I can't argue with the effort on Saturday night. It's very hard to be in control of the entire game. Mm-hmm. There's an old saying in the NHL, if you control the pace of the game for 51%, that's a good night.
Right.
Like, everybody's so close, everybody's so good that you're never going to control the entire game. I thought there were periods on Saturday, stretches on Saturday where we were the better team. I liked that we made a third period push. That was great to see. It's unfortunate for our guys that we couldn't find a way to at least get a point out of it.
Well, and you have some, great scoring opportunities, and I know that was something that you guys had talked about working on, is getting, some of those shots off. And speaking of the third period, I think there were 23 or 24 shots on goal alone in the third period for the Wings, and ended up, I believe, right around 40. So definitely achieved that goal. It definitely made their goaltender, Ulrich, work. Yeah. And so, again, some great opportunities, and Ulrich did a good job, in his position. So, as you always say, there's another team out there that's pretty darn good, and they're trying to defend, and they did a good job of it. One of the things that stuck out to me both Friday and Saturday, but particularly Saturday, were the hits. You guys really seem to be finishing checks well, and it almost, I wondered, I guess, if it wasn't a plan going into it to kind of wear them down and kind of impose your will, if you will, because, I mean, Moser and Cook and DeYoung, Payne, they all had, that I can remember, just monster hits during that game. Is that something that was strategic, or is just a byproduct of how the game went?
Well, if you're a heavy player and you weigh more than 180 pounds, you should be licking your chops and thriving on using your body in a good way to help yourself create some space, help your teammates create some space, help the team get some space, and create a bit of a home ice advantage, because let's face it, being physical is good in any venue, but the fans here really appreciate it, and we're trying to make investments during the game that gets the crowd pulling the rope with us in our direction to make the game harder on the opponent. So it was emphasized, but it's always emphasized, and we have a lot of players on our team that are good at throwing the body, and they work hard in the weight room, and they puck battle in practice so that they can have fun in the games, and they have fun by using their body bodies to their advantage.
Right.
So it was good to see. It's what we want to do, especially at home. And I thought a lot of the ice that we opened up for ourselves in the third period were a result of hitting late in the game. Now we got to make sure we do that right from the start on Friday night.
Okay. Kind of a pink elephant in the room, if you will. A goal that was disallowed that, well, from my vantage point, it was absolutely a goal, but, they ended up waving it off. And certainly the crowd was frustrated. I know, that's got to be a frustration for the team too. And I'm not sure, maybe they didn't know for sure if it was a goal, but I know that everybody on that end of the ice could see that it had crossed. I guess it's something that we can address. Again, I understand that that's the way things go sometimes. Sometimes you'll get it the other way, but that's got to be kind of frustrating, huh?
It's frustrating because we were pushing, we were doing the work to make it happen for us, and then bam, that happens. The ref didn't see it, he lost sight of it, he blew it down. My point to our acting captain in the game to make to the official, and then the point I made to the official was, please ask the guy with the best view of the action.
Right.
And that's the goal judge who's down there freezing his legs off, working hard all night, trying to stay focused so he can do his job. Let the goal judge do his job and tell you if it went in or not. I was a little disappointed that the referee did not go to the goal judge in that instance. But the referee that officiated the game on Saturday is a real good referee. He wasn't down there. It's the way she goes. I yelled for a bit, let him know what I thought of the situation, and then I just thought we were playing too darn good to get distracted and to get down. I wanted us to keep pushing, keep the home ice advantage going, keep them back on their heels, and keep doing what we needed to do to score. And so that's the way she goes. It stinks, but what the heck are you going to do about it? You got to keep playing.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing you can do. Coming up this weekend, Friday night, you got a Saturday night off, but Friday night the rival Bismarck Bobcats come to town. How do you prepare for the Bobcats? I know, again, early in the season like this, your focus is often on you as a team, but do you do anything different for the Capital City Kitties?
Well, not to spin your question, but here's what I liked about last week and last weekend. We sat here a week ago and we talked about, hey, we only had a little over 40 shots in 2 games in Richfield.
Yep.
And then last weekend here in Aberdeen against the Magicians, we had, I think, 75 in 2 games. We had way more scoring chances on Friday and Saturday night. So we worried about us, but we did a thing or two that helped us against them. Right. This week it's kind of very similar. Let's worry about us. Let's do 2 or 3 things that, hey, this is going to help us, and it should also help us in Bismarck if they're built and play anyway like they've played in the past. And we're in the process of plugging through tape on them right now. They didn't play last weekend,
right.
So the video that we're looking at of them is a few weeks ago.
Sure.
But let's just stay focused on us. I like how we're getting the shots. I like how we're getting the chances. Now we got to finish and we got to bury. And we've also got to clean up a few of the defensive lapses and lulls that we had on Saturday that are not part of our game and are not part of our identity. We do those things and we play hard and we play fast and we play simple again. We'll be on the path to getting the result that we want.
Right. And you brought up defensively. I thought it was interesting. There were a couple of times where there was a little bit of a lapse, but and I can speak particularly Tanner Okeson at one point having to get caught up. But boy, he did a fantastic job of skating down and getting a stick on a stick and not allowing a shot that would have been 1-on-0. So there were times, I guess, when there, like you said, kind of some lapses, but the guys really did a good job recovering, I thought, in most cases. And again, that's something that you continue to work on. You'd like to make sure that everything's always perfect and you don't ever have to recover, but that's not the way it goes, I guess. So.
Well, we're pretty organized, I think, for this time of the year. We gave up under 10 scoring chances both nights. We only gave up 5 on Friday, and in regulation, that is. 5 in regulation on Friday. I want to be clear on that, because the 3-on-3 is wild, as you can see.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday night, we gave up 9. So we gave up under 10 Friday, under 10 on Saturday. That's real good. We just had a couple lapses, some sort out issues at the net that they're mistakes that we don't make. Let other teams make those mistakes. We don't make those mistakes. Hopefully we clean some of that up this week. We do the things we did well better. And you know what it amounts to if we do that, Jay? Getting 3 to 5% better. And that's what we talk about around here. We talk about getting better for a reason, not because it's the standard line. It's the core of what we do in this culture.
Right. Well, as you go 5% each day, obviously you're making big strides by the end of the season, right? So, one thing I wanted to bring up, you talk about, how sometimes with USHL, guys like Ronnie Heim moving up. You're trying to help them with their careers while you're trying to put on a good program together here with the Wings too. But I wanted to comment on some of the guys that have moved on and have done well. We've got guys like Mike Soucier and Daniel Billett who are at Bemidji and are in preseason games scoring goals. Bjorn Sigurdarsson just signed with a pro team in Finland, and then Kyle Hake on Friday night, I believe it was, or Saturday night. In his first game with the Air Force Academy, scored 2 goals. As a coach, that's got to make you feel pretty good.
Oh, for sure. Winning is a byproduct of doing it right every single day. And part of doing it right from a program perspective is developing them and moving them on to the next level so we can watch them 1, 2, 3, 10 years down the line doing what they love to do, and that's playing hockey. So 2 things real interesting right out of the gate here this year. Billett and Soucier were among Bemidji State's, their coaching staff told me, best conditioned, not only best conditioned freshmen, but best conditioned players.
Really?
Which
Wow.
I think is really cool. And then Kyle Hake had 2 goals in a win for Air Force over Denver on Friday night. That's really cool. That's what it's all about. We want to win every game. We want to win every game in this building. We want to play great every night. But developing players, advancing them, and seeing them go on and do well at the college level, that's winning too. And we must never forget that. That's a big part of what we do around here. It's a big reason, along with our great crowd and our great community and our great culture, why players want to come here. They know that if they come to Aberdeen, they're going to have a chance to get to the next level.
Right.
And it makes me darn proud to see the work that some of these former Wings are doing at the collegiate level.
Yep.
It's awesome, plain and simple.
I'd love to follow them, and again, congratulations to all of those that are moving on and the success that they're achieving. So, well, that'll pretty much wrap up this week's Wings Weekly. I want to remind people that Friday night against the Bismarck Bobcats, it is kids' night, so a free admission for anybody under the age of 12 with a paid ticket at the door. So, come on out to the Odie on Friday night for the Bismarck Bobcats and the Aberdeen Wings.